Hi there. So I've been wanting to shoot this video for quite some time, and it goes along with my book, The Alchemy of Despair, and this method that I'm going to talk about is one of the books in there of the 17 that you can use to transform any feelings of sadness or depression, or even if you had a bad day. I mean, any number of things can trigger negative emotions. It's not difficult in the world, right? So this book is about reading spiritual literature. Anything that resonates with you. There are obviously the big three: the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, well, I guess there's many, the Tao Te Ching, anything that resonates with you, whatever your spiritual tradition is or religious tradition is, you can pick those things up and just keep them handy by your bed. If you had a rough day, they really have the power to transform your emotions and your feelings. So I just have a few of my favorite here. These first three are three that I picked up. They're just small little books dealing with Kriya Yoga, which I picked up during a Kriya Yoga initiation, and I go to these things all the time. This one's called Kriya Yoga, The Path of Soul Culture, A Successful Lifestyle, and one of my favorites is one of the yogis in this lineage gives you like a not a translation, but a understanding of the Bhagavad Gita, which is an incredibly influential text. It's a Hindu text, and he talks about it in such a way that you, regardless of what's happening in your life, you can pick this thing up and you can say, you know what, it does comfort you. Because, you know, anything written by yogis or rishis, saints, priests, monks, those people like are on the God path, right? They study this stuff all the time, and they would be the first to admit they don't have all the answers, but they're on the path studying it, and they have like pierced this veil that most of us live behind, this attachment to the good or the bad, and then we get on this emotional roller coaster, and it really can calm you and soothe the mind. One of my other favorites, and I'm actually going to do a whole video on this guy because he's super awesome, is Stuart Wilde. And he was kind of a, I don't know, I have a spiritual mystic person, and he writes these little books. This one is called Life Was Never Meant to Be a Struggle. And just to give you an idea, what he's writing about here is, you know, this is just a small passage. And he says, if you find yourself in an uphill situation, ask yourself, what am I resisting? What is it in this situation that I have missed and that is causing me turmoil? That's a good question for all of us at the end of a crazy day, right? What are we missing that is causing upheaval in ourselves? And then last but not least, this other quote, he says, remember, it's okay to get what you want from life, right? We have such a tendency to punish ourselves and attach to these negative emotions. It's all over, so we think that's the natural way. And one of my favorites of all is Paramahansa Yogananda. This particular book is called How to Be Happy All the Time, and if you don't know about him, he's the author of Autobiography of a Yogi, and he's in the same lineage as these folks, these yogis. So the stuff is really good. That is Kriya Yoga, and Kriya is like the idea that God, or like the universal force, which they call God, is behind all actions. And so that spiritual tradition really resonates with me, and I find a lot of like comfort and truth in it. So I gravitate towards that. But Paramahansa Yogananda, he even talks about it in this little book, but it's filled with all these great ideas. Again, when these people write stuff, when they put pen to paper, you get the sense that they can actually transfer that comfortness to you. So listen to what he writes. He even writes about books. He says, good books are your perpetual silent friends. When you're worried or grieved, take a book and bury yourself in it. Listen to the comforting and inspiring words of the great minds of the ages. And that kind of sums up the idea behind this. Keep these little books handy, and they can like short circuit that negative thinking super quick. So I hope that's helpful. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon.